Hey, welcome back to the Kevin Burke Show, everyone. I'm Kevin Burke, obviously. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me again. And you know I appreciate that, right? Listen, I want to talk about 4 topics. Okay? I'm going to be brief. Okay, I'm going to be very brief because I got 4 topics. I want to get by it and as quick as possible because I have a tendency to be long-winded because I'm so passionate about sports. I got a tendency to just ramble on and on and on. So I'm actually going to time myself on this to keep it as brief as I can, okay? 4 topics. Floyd Landis. You know what happened with him. If not, stay tuned. I want to talk about sensitive sports fans, Brett Favre, and baseball's unwritten rules. All right, let's start from the top. Floyd Landis, in case you missed it, just backpedal a little bit. Backpedal, no pun intended. He's a cyclist. He's the Floyd Landis. He's the 2007 Tour de France winner. Tour de France winner. But after he won, he was actually stripped of his crown of being Tour de France winner because he tested positive for some performance enhancers. And he vehemently denied that he's ever taken any of that. Regardless, he was still stripped of his crown of that. Well, it just so happens that last week he admits that, yes, you know what, I took performance enhancers, and his reasoning why was just because he had a tough time living with this lie. It sounds like Mark McGuire or somebody, but he had a tough time living with the lie, so he says, you know what, I'm going to come clean, and here's what I did. He decides to get his Jose Canseco on and start snitching and naming names. And he said, you know what? Lance Armstrong is doing it too, him and a couple other cyclists. I mean, damn, Floyd, are you serious? I mean, I don't understand. He thinks he's Jose Canseco now, starting to name names. Now, Jose Canseco, to make a correlation or a parallel, I think Jose Canseco is probably the best thing that's ever happened to baseball because the steroid scandal is the worst thing that ever happened to baseball, and there's no more credible source in this whole steroid scandal in baseball than Jose Canseco. I don't know if Floyd is trying to be the Canseco of cycling, but we got, and then Armstrong, he responds to Landis's allegations, and he's saying, this guy has no leg to stand on, and Floyd says he has no proof. If you got no proof, why the hell are you even saying it? At least Canseco had some leg to stand on because Canseco allegedly shot up with these guys. Landis didn't do anything with these guys. He's just saying, I just saying that they did, they did it too. Look at them. So Armstrong fires back, and now we have a beef between cyclists. What the hell is the world coming to? We got Floyd Landis and Lance Armstrong beefing cyclists. If they saw each other, I'm checking the time. If they saw each other, they'd probably fight. I mean, what in the hell is the world coming to? We got cyclists beefing. What the hell is that about? Secondly, sensitive sports fans. Rasheed Wallace of the Boston Celtics. This guy's from Philadelphia, okay? A few weeks ago, the Philadelphia Flyers of the NHL beat the Boston Bruins in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And the Bruins were actually up 3-0 in that series. Then the Flyers came back to tie it at 3. And then in Game 7, the Bruins were actually up 3-0 in the first period, ended up losing the game, ultimately losing the series. One of the most monumental collapses in sports history. Well, I think it was the day after, or a few days after the Bruins lost, again, the Boston Bruins, and Rasheed plays for the Boston Celtics. And again, he's from Philly. During one of the post-game conferences, he wore a Philadelphia Flyers hat to the post-game conference. And all these fans are like all upset. I can't believe he's wearing a Flyers hat. That's disrespectful. He's sticking it to us. Calm down. I mean, damn, the guy's from Philly. What do you want from him? He doesn't care about you or what you think. He's from Philly. He's supporting one of his hometown teams. I mean, get over it. It reminds me of when we saw Tom Brady in New York. He had a Yankee hat on a few years ago, walking through the streets of New York, and TMZ called him. TMZ saw him, and everybody, oh my God, did you see Tom Brady with a Yankees hat on? This is ridiculous. Everybody in Boston got all mad. Are you serious? It's a hat. Stop it. It's a hat. Get over it. Also, LeBron James, when he was in Cleveland, he's only in Cleveland, I think, for a couple more months, but he was in Cleveland. This was a few years ago at an Indians-Yankees playoff game in Cleveland, and he was sitting in the stands with a Yankee hat on. That's the only one I can kind of understand the fans' perspective on that point, because he was in Cleveland, he's from Cleveland, plays for the Cavaliers, they're playing against the Yankees in the playoffs, and he has a Yankee hat on. I can kind of understand why people got a little upset about that, but don't get too carried away with that, man. I mean, above all, the Yankee hat is a fashion statement. Didn't you hear Jay-Z? I mean, I made a Yankee hat more famous than a Yankee can. It's a fashion statement, no more, no less. So then LeBron says he's a Yankees fan, so maybe there was some to that. But I mean, calm down. My point in all this, these fans get so crazy about a guy wearing a hat. He plays for my hometown team. He's wearing a hat of the enemy. It's a hat. Relax, man. Get over it. Thirdly, Brett Favre. It came out a few weeks ago that Brett Favre, if he got banged up in that NFC Championship game against the Saints, he had a bum ankle. That game was in January. It came out last month that in order for him to play this season, it's going to require ankle surgery. In June, he's going to have ankle surgery now. We're damn near in June. Their season ended in January. What happened with why is there a 5-month gap between him getting ankle surgery? I know what it is. This guy can't go through an off season without drama. So he's going to have the ankle surgery. He's going to rehab just enough time to be late for camp for the Vikings. And we're going to have all this. Is he ready? He's going to be, he hardly played in camp, but look how well he's playing this year. I mean, if you haven't figured this guy out yet, that's what he does. There's no reason for 5 months he hasn't decided to have ankle surgery yet. Whether or not he's going to return to play, the ankle needed surgery. He waits till now. Rehab is going to be right as the season starts. It's going to be another soap opera. What a warrior, and this, that, and the third. Can you believe it? Oh, my God, with this guy, man. Are you going to play or not? I can't believe, and Brad Childress, pardon me, the head coach of the Vikings, as the season ended, this man said, I'm not going to pressure Brett Favre. He can come back if he wants to, when he wants to. He's a better man than me, because I would have said, Brett, listen to me. I'm going to ask you one question. Your answer either needs to be yes or no. Anything other than yes, I'm going to take it as a no. I would have said, listen, Brett, are you with us next year or not? If Brett would have leaned back, looked up, thought about it, rubbed his chin, I would have said, you know what? I'm going to take that as a no. Thank you. I'm out of here. They're allowing this guy to do this for like the 3rd year in a row. It's disgusting, man. And finally, lastly, baseball's unwritten rules. If you missed it, Dallas Braden from the Oakland Athletics, he tossed a perfect game the other day. But that's only the 19th time in baseball history a guy has tossed a perfect game. So that's definitely a feat that comes along often. When I heard the news, I couldn't even really think about that. All I thought about was a few weeks prior when the Yankees were in Oakland for a 3-game set, I think it was, and A-Rod was on first, and Robinson Cano fouled the ball out. This guy, the same pitcher from Oakland, he was on the hill. Robinson Cano was at the plate, and he fouled the ball off. A-Rod went from first to second. It was a foul ball, so he had to retreat from third back to first. You know the story by now. And in doing so, he ran across the pitcher's mound to get back to first base. And this guy wanted to fight A-Rod. You get off my mound. You can't be on my mound. It's my mound, man. Are you serious? And that's an unwritten rule in baseball. You don't cross the pitcher's mound if the opposing team is still on the field. Oh my God, are you serious? Calm down, man. I mean, and this guy really, A-Rod struck back and said, I don't know who this guy is. What has he done? And this guy was really mad. He wanted to fight A-Rod. Like, if they let him go, I think he would have fought A-Rod because he ran across the pitcher's mound. That's an unwritten rule. Another unwritten rule in baseball is that if there's a no-hitter going on, you shouldn't try to. There's many unwritten rules. The other one that kind of annoys me, if you have a no-hitter going on, you shouldn't try to bunt your way on board because that's below the belt. That's dirty. That's bush league. So let me get this straight. If I got a chance of winning the game, or if I got a chance of being no-hit and embarrassed, I'm supposed to not try to avoid that purposely so that you don't get offended as a pitcher. Give me a break. I mean, these are unwritten rules. This is a gentleman's game. No, it's baseball. And baseball is definitely an acquired taste. I love baseball, the first sport I ever played or watched. So I definitely appreciate it. But there's too many unwritten rules where the repercussions are, or the ramifications are, hurting people's feelings. That's the repercussions of breaking baseball's unwritten rules, hurting somebody's feelings. Get over it, man. I don't get it. I mean, baseball, grow up, man. I mean, in certain instances, you got to grow up. These unwritten rules, I think, are just ridiculous. That's all I got, man. Let's see how long that take. That was quick. I'm proud of myself, man. Listen, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me again. I appreciate that. Thanks for checking out The Kevin Burke Show. Log on to thekevinburkeproject.com. Take care. I'll check you out soon.